CGPL Season 3 Championships. My name is Uber, I'm here with Saib. And after that first match of this best-of-3 semi-final between Avant, Garde and Streamline, there's a lot to be going on with there. Very impressive performance. Streamline coming up with it in the overtime, and Avant, Garde,
definitely.
they're pretty frustrated with that one. I haven't spoken to them later on.
Yeah, especially when you're 14-10 up and lose an eco. That's rough.
Yeah, and even wasn't even the eco, to be honest. It was even those situations where like they, getting 2v forward as well by guys like pushing onto sites, and they just seemed like their execution compared to Streamline, especially in that overtime, was lacking. Right? The Streamline was definitely pulling off their maneuvers a little bit more cleanly, and making more correct. Yeah. So and their positioning as well was important. Dust 2 was the next map here.
Yep.
Obviously, Avant-Garde feeling good about this one in general.
Yep.
They've got to move past that last game because I know like there's a lot of frustration for them in terms of communication. They feel like that was sort of lacking amongst their team. They said like our calls, we feel like they're a bit jilted at this stage. Like I think everyone player said that. I feel like I'm calling for everyone. I feel like I'm the only guy sort of talking.
As I said, I don't think they have that same level of team play where they have the awareness of what their teammates are doing all the time.
I think chemistry
where
is,
they are.
Yeah, I think chemistry is really important, and you actually sort of hinted at that beforehand. You suspected that might actually be the issue, and actually it turned out to be their Achilles heel in that game. So,
I mean, it's hard, Chemistry comes with both time and kind of the personalities that are in your team.
I mean, honestly, if you have clashing personalities or ones that don't sort of relate, great. Doesn't really matter how much time.
Yeah.
We're gonna jump into the knife round now on the map of Dust. Let's see if Avant-Garde can make up for that last map and take it to a third. Oh, they're going to fall away here. They've got to hold on. I mean, Avant-Garde, momentum-based. We've said it before. We do have Streamline coming in on a high, and Avant-Garde now frustrated, feeling like they were kind of... They didn't feel like they were cheated, but they definitely feel like they threw it away a little bit.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, you could see it in their gameplay.
Yeah. So I didn't speak to the Streamline guys after. We did hear a bit of banter on the way out from the guys as they did leave the room. So everyone's pretty happy to share their opinion here, but just going to wait for everyone to sort of ready up. We'll be into this one. Obviously, after this one, I think it depends actually. If Streamline win, we're going to go straight to the grand final.
Yep.
I think they've got some flights to catch. So if that's okay, so
that'll be fun.
That'll be sick.
Yeah.
That'd be really, really good. If obviously Avant-Garde win, we may well see our third place game before that, and then we'll have our final.
Yep.
So that's how that's going to work out at this stage. So yeah, it all depends. You have to stay tuned and find out in the next episode of CGPL Drama.
Just more delays.
Yeah, honestly, like we used to. CS:GO's fun like that as well. The reality is like. Overseas, like you see guys will play back-to-back maps and stuff like that. Over here, we're pretty laid back in Australia. Like we might go out for a chat and just get some fresh air and just have a yarn and exactly. We might duck down to the Alexandria just down there for a quick beer. I've seen it happen before. See, but to be fair, like I spoke to a lot of the AV guys who were generally a little bit more laid back about lands and stuff like that. They definitely come to play. They still like to have a good time at the same time. They said, no, last night we were. In bed sort of around midnight, got up around 9, so they had a decent sleep in. They didn't have to play first, so that definitely worked in their favour, and they're feeling well rested. We're going to be into the knife soon. Just getting a little match reset here as well. So if you did miss the results of our previous games, of course the earlier Chiefs versus Immunity clash was pretty epic there, and it was Immunity that came out on top of that one.
Just actually.
Yeah, it was close. Yeah. Very, very close. It seemed like it was just not one that they were going to be able to take out there, but impressive show of composure from them. And carrying 11 rounds pretty much in a row, or definitely holding Chiefs to 1 round on the CT side. Like, it never happens, well, up until now, anyway. Also, big shout out to our sponsors as well, who are the guys who are powering this event, of course. MSI and Logitech, our major sponsors. Of course, Netgear, DX Racer, BenQ, and mwave.com.au. We're pretty much ready to go into this one. And look, a fair bit on the line for these guys. The prize pool is quite significant for this event as well. So $6,000 being put up for our sponsors. So first place walks away with $3,500 plus those. I don't know if you've seen those trophies, the shiny glass ones that have been put out there, which is perfect mood lighting around them as well. So they look very, very nice. So disconnects here. I had a chat to them. I went outside with them, just tried to collect their thoughts a little bit there. And they feel like. They feel like they let them, at about 13-10, they feel like they kind of let Streamline back into the game.
Oh, they feel definitely. Like that was around when they lost that eco.
Yeah.
That was it.
It's funny, like CSGO, the implications of very small or innocuous or potentially, like, ostensibly small events are huge. Like, I accidentally lost my gun and gave it over here, and then all the way down the line, they've just won 5 rounds in a row because they've capitalised on that as well. So.
It's those small situations in CS,
And playmaking such a double-edged sword as well.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen both kinds. Even like DevK jumping out of smoke trying to frag 3 people, or PDG coming forward as he tries to do.
Yeah.
It's a real toss-up, isn't it, between wanting to be very careful and knowing you need to make a play. There are some situations where it's almost required, and you just have to throw caution to the winds and make something happen.
But you got to know when to do those, and it didn't look like Avant really did it properly then. And
there's a lot to be said for intuition as well.
Yeah.
But we're going to jump into the match. It's going to be the knife round here for side. We're going to see now if Avant Garde, let's see what they can do for us on T side. Everyone says their T side is quite strong, but again, I really feel like this is Streamline's map in many ways as well. Their performances on this one have generally been quite impressive. So knife round important on this map. A lot of people at this event,
it's a bit
statistically,
less important, I think on D2 than most other maps. But I actually did verse Avant in the earlier group stages on Dust 2, and they were pretty strong on it.
Oh God, has the call out to Destiny, throwing back to. I think I actually brought that story up about him. He either said he'd bring a machete to one of the old 1.16s, or he did. I don't really want to make comment on it.
Put it past him.
Yeah, back under the old Mind Freak banner. I think that was when he played with them. Yeah, I was actually manager of the team at that time, and I heard about that. I wasn't the manager of the CS team, actually. That's Ramen was the manager of the CS team, and they were all the same. All those guys, very a lot of a lot of big personalities from them. And it was very, very different back in the day as well. And you can, for those of you tuning in from sort of the UK especially, I spoke to Lawrence Scott, obviously, who'd been around the CSGO and esports scene over there for a while. And we, comparing our regions, we found them to be very, very similar in the approach. Like a lot of people, sometimes the playing at the LAN was secondary to the catching out with mates and having drinks and stuff like that, or settling online beefs. I mean, rarely did it come to fisticuffs, but
you don't come to a LAN without some drama.
Absolutely. So now into the pistol here. It looks like that Streamline are actually going to be CT. I think AV won that round, so they've opted to start on the T side. And statistically speaking, at this event, it's actually been T-sided maps. So let's see what they can create here.
If you can get your roll on T, that's great.
Yeah. And that's exactly what. And I'm pretty sure that's. I was talking to Ricky actually, and he said, I guess he was sort of defending Chiefs, who are obviously losing so many rounds on the CT side. He says if you get a roll on T side, it's really, really hard to stop you there. So all of a sudden that round turned around quickly after Chriso made a pick in mid, and now it's like 3v1. Sheep is last man standing. He doesn't even know where to look here over at the B side. Has the bomb at least. Something went down. Ferg got 3 kills there, and he's still standing with that USP. So large play from him. Let's see what he can do. He's probably just going to try and be a bit sneakier about his approach. Probably won't line up with the rest of his team, but well, here's the decision making from the man Sheep. As I said, I've probably said this a few times. His last game was TF2. I think he was known for being a sniper on that game as well, so it kind of makes sense for this transition here. But CSGO requires you to use a multitude of different weapons in different roles.
Yeah, definitely.
To see how he's adapting. So far, pretty good. I mean, most people, you can't really fault him, but there, Moe, nice little dink on Sheep as he runs across, and that is the pistol going over towards Streamline. So they can breathe a sigh of relief. It's not as if Avant Garde are going to get the wheels rolling just yet on that T side, and they're going to just have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Gives you a bit of wiggle room, especially on these anti-ecos. You can get those eco frags, get your confidence up.
Now the buy here is the MP7 and MP9, I think. Is that centered? No, I guess no one wrote the book on eco buys, did they really? But does this make sense from their perspective? Obviously, they're the more inexpensive versions of the guns.
Yeah, especially after the last update, they've been buffed a bit. They are better against anti-ecos. But it's for 5 of them, that's still a bit risky.
Why did AV buy up on this round? 3 Deagles, 2 Scouts. Is that fairly expensive for them, especially with 3 of them?
That'd be a full buy. So it's essentially the same as buying Tech 9 head armor or something like that. It's just whatever you're comfortable with, I guess. Oh
God, Estilo, nasty work on short. And why would AV sort of buy up so aggressively on this round? Is it a matter of confidence? Is it almost like you have to?
It's kind of like the meta in CS:GO. Okay. Eco rounds are easier to win in this than they are in other versions of the game.
Right.
So it's not an unheard of thing to do.
Right. Well, obviously they are definitely not going to be buying this round, that's for sure. They had a crack at it, but still are quite big on that one. I guess unarmored targets, those SMGs are just disgusting.
And now you just see him keep getting aggro, Get those eco frags.
I feel like this really suits Stilo and Tedwick, both of them.
So close.
Dink, then Dink, DevK was the one to get the crucial damage there. Man, accruing some money as well. There's SMGs. Look at that. It's like 9k on Ustilo. And he's going to be able to buy himself up properly here. Looks like, yes, most of Streamline will now obviously trade those guns into the decent ones for the gun room, with the exception of Ferg and Moe. Are they required to buy up rifles to try and match AV, obviously on their first buy?
It's pretty risky to not do that, you know? They might put themselves in quite a shit situation.
Alright, Stillo, first pick onto P. Garde have been subdued in this map. Streamline on a roll. Obviously they did with the pistol, so it's fair enough, but even following that, you can see the way Avant-Garde are playing. Their first round, they were quite cavalier on that pistol. Chriso just having to walk straight down mid and try and, you know, open things up. But I don't know, they've been a lot quieter. That being said, they've kind of been crushed within the first 20 seconds of each round, so Avant-Garde statistically don't always benefit when the round does stretch out quite long, especially when the onus is on them to make a play. It's not always the correct one, and they don't always inform their teammates of it very well. They've cited about the communication issues earlier. Bomb is in mid, and DevK is just trying to get some damage down on towards Destiny, who's just not going to be shifted right now. That's not going to be a bad nade at all. Finds Sheep. That's really, really nasty, especially given how stacked up in mid AV were. DevK back in the way. Chriso's probably the least healthy out of all those ones after all. That's a mid to B strat though, but Streamline have done the damage, so it's a bit of a risky one. It's a bit of a Hail Mary. Mid to B, the smoke didn't cover quite everything, and Destiny going to cake the extra shot, but he did find DevK first. Has managed to turn around onto him. Ferg now going to take the mantle of Destiny and try and do some damage. But MP7, well, we have limitations on SMGs at long range here. He's not going to really going to connect, but AV, well, they crawl onto this B site really, and I don't think it'll be long for the Streamline retake. They should. They don't want them to plant at all. You can see how aggressive they are. They did get the plant anyway, but they really crushed them on the take.
What they did was Moe did the smart thing. He pushed into upper and he took control of upper instead of taking the fights, which would have been a 2-on-1, them entering into B, and then he just waited for his team to come closer so they can retake together.
PDG and Sheep yet to hit the scoreboard. So Avant-Garde over 4 rounds have 4 frags. That's not remotely enough. Whereas Ustilo, when he hits his straps, when he gets to play aggressive and confident.
It's that eco swag confidence.
Absolutely. Well, I'd say sometimes it's not a bad placebo as well if you're heading into a gun round after just crushing people those first 2 rounds.
Exactly.
Tedwick now pushing into bedroom. Avant-Garde not really on that. Are leaving Chriso back to watch this one. He will be looking at that angle, but generally concentrated here towards the tunnels mostly. Again, need to find the picks. It was a preemptive smoke over on the B side, and now PD has the chance to poke. He's going to hit him head-to-head with Moe. Some good damage there, but not enough to deter Moe. He's going to try and take the gun battle. He moved out from cover, actually. Tried to fight PDG, and PDG was more than happy to take the spray down now. Destiny still on the back of the bomb side. A lot of smoke up, a bit of flash. Well, Destiny's going to start getting into them right now. Ferg gets on one as well. Chriso going to respond. Destiny, I mean, it's a bit harder to repel like a 4-man, 5-man rush with the M4A1S. Less bullets, it's harder to spray through, but that's okay because we're still on Tedwick now on the back end of it, picking up the kills nicely. DevK, last man standing. He does manage to spray down one. He's going to turn those 2-1 into 2 1v ones. There's the shot through the top of the box, and Avant-Garde find that round, but my God, do they have to work for it.
Yeah, that's great work by DevK. But to come down to that situation, that's rough.
Navy, lost quite a few members in a very short space of time, and Sheep not finding his rhythm here. It reminds me of Ricky on a bad day if he doesn't get an AWP. Although, you know, he actually said to me, because I had a crack at him and said, oh, you know, you can't play rifle. And he said, well, he's actually not a main AWP normally. He's happy to play rifle. Before he came to IM, it wasn't his main gun.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But now he's still copping the dink there, trying to put some damage down towards lowers. That nade will help very well. A double nade from Tedwick, and that is the scuttled AV's hold there in that area. They just stacked right up for him, and the timing was absolutely perfect. And Stillo was the only person mildly scathed on Avant-Garde. Sorry, Streamline. It's the blue team. We don't have the names up there, that's probably why. That's sort of later on. Okay, bomb. Only 3 members left for AV here. Thinking mid might yield some opportunities for them. But Galil's not the easiest gun to spray an enemy down with the close range. You can see Sheep really wants to get his way over on towards short. The other 2 AV guys are sticking with him. They want to be able to pick the bomb up very quickly before it gets dropped, or when it gets dropped, and they also want to be able to get revenge frags here. What are your thoughts about AV's push here?
It's kind of, you know, necessary that they have to do something. Yeah. It looks like they're going to try and fake them into B. They've got a guy out mid trying to catch something out, while 2 walk out short. And it seems to have worked. It pulled the guy from A into CT spawn, which is what they were going for. and it's allowed them to gain control of A.
One less immediate threat for them. Peter will surely check Goose,
Oh,
and he does pick the kill up. Somehow Ferg trying to do some work there from long, but doesn't manage to connect, and Tebbe goes down to Has. Ferg can still do work here, and there's still plenty of Streamline guys up. They are approaching kits on all of them as well, mind you, so they don't have to rush too much, but they do need to make their way over fairly briskly. Has there, takes down Moe from top, Has in a good spot to do work, and he does! Now Destiny will respond, but Sheep is there. Sheep can't get onto the scoreboard. The man is struggling.
You keep seeing him in all these clutch situations, and he just doesn't have the experience to pull them off. He doesn't have the composure, or really, that's what I think anyway.
It's really hurting Avant.
But it was a great round by Has. I think he got 3 or 4 kills. You know?
Yeah, and as I said, always it's tricky to play out from CT spawn and try and take someone down on short or towards baskets. It's just a weird angle. Definitely the inherent advantage to the guy up the top, but yeah, Has even getting some kills on towards long there. And I don't know, Sheep might be James Bond in a moment here if he's not able to scrape it through together. This would not be an ideal situation. Kind of sad in the obvious, really, but... Alright, so it's a push towards mid here for AV. And PD already found himself in low as they want to go on towards short. It's going to be the old pistol rush from short, but normally you expect to see Tech 9s in their hands because somehow, with the RNG in this game, you can run at full speed and still hit heads.
That's what they're going to look for. Looks like they might just try and explode into A, try and get one of those short plants, get some money.
They're determined to rely on their deagling here.
Yeah, it was paid off for him last map.
Yeah, definitely. Aim stars that they are. PDG just chunked down, gets the better of Moe. Moe can't connect, and if you give PDG any breathing room in a situation like that, he's eventually going to find your head, but Tebik now with a spray down doesn't really have the bullets to do it.
In the open.
That's Has response, but Steeler is always going to back him up there as well. A lot of blood over on the wall there, and Steeler adds to it. It's like a mural, very gruesome one. And Ferg now picks up Christos. There's still that one round for Avant Garde.
Doing work on those eco rounds.
Yeah, and this is the opposite of Avant Garde's performance against Immunity in the same situation. They were up 6-1 here.
Yeah.
I guess losing the pistol makes a big difference.
Definitely. It's hard though on a T side does too sometimes to bring it back after you're down losing 6 rounds.
People are so reluctant to say which side has that inherent advantage. Chriso, huge pickup for him. Istillo and Tedwick essentially straves into his shot. He's got to throw a gun down for his mate and say, "Have some of this, boys." What an important player he's been for AV all weekend. It's almost like Tedwick was not ready for anyone down mid. He wasn't aiming, he was running at the same time. But now Moe tries to push in, the bomb is down. He was not ready for that. Moe makes a 2, going to make it 3. Yes, the spray down is big, and Moe takes initiative, pushes into those tunnels, and gets the few kills for his team. Has will respond, but the damage is already done. Destiny can just sit back on the side. Has got next to no health. It's a smoke out, maybe to simulate a push through those tunnels, just to try and block off those doors and window, but no, Avant Garde have different ideas. Now up in mid, Ferg has a good angle here to get a pick. The timing of that. The timing again, but Ferg will still connect and will make good on that one. And it's just Has left with pretty much no health. Avant Garde in such a good position. This is not the first time on this map that Crusoe has made a big play early on, and Avant Garde still getting a dookie on them. That's you got to be frustrated in his position as well. There's only so much he can do with pistols. He made such a good situation out of so very little.
Yep. And then Moe did really well though. He had to hit a 90-degree pretty much flick on the guy on the right side of upper dark. Moe making up for last round when he whiffed on PDG. Yeah,
that was sick. The push in. Like sometimes you just got to pull that kind of thing, and I paid out for him as well. You've got to be ready for that. Especially a team like Avant Garde, who having played for quite some time, might think that they sort of know it all, but. These guys are going to pull. We said this, like randomness is something that Streamline will use to their advantage. There's another gun round here for AV.
And good push by him. He's got a lot of information.
Absolutely knows that Avant Garde, especially given that his mate's pushed up a B and he hasn't heard anything in tunnels. Knows they're in mid. S is about to get ugly. Tedwick just destroys Dead K. Avant Garde, again, losing those players early, it's just really going to make life hard for them here. Streamline individually and as a team as well.
Yep.
Making it super hard for AV to do anything. AV just look like they're shattered after losing that first map.
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of a little bit scatterbrained. They don't know how to approach the rounds now, but still keeping their heads in the game, I guess.
5 men, all full health. Tedwick. Avant Garde are making it too easy for people to flank like that. It's not okay.
It's one at a time.
Sheep gets 1 kill. Welcome to the game. Now, Looking for another behind the bomb side. Estilo is not going to oblige. Tries to get some shots there. Actually got tagged quite heavily now. The smoke is on top of him, so he's going to back away to ramp. And Destiny trying to get Randy with it, but Tedwick and Estilo will finish the job. Only losing one gun. Streamline hold on there. Avant-Garde, the gun rounds are not coming into fruition. That is not good. In fact, at no stages Avant-Garde actually managed to get a round win by bomb detonation.
Yeah,
here.
apart from that clutch. By, well, bomb.
Does someone on AV have to make a big clutch every round to get on the win? It definitely seems like
it. You know, that's what it was like on Mirage. You know, individual players were winning them rounds.
You can't rely on that all the time. Sometimes you just need everyone to pull their weight. In this case, it's not happening. You've got to wonder as well about the morale of Avant-Garde as well, the kind of talk that's going on. PD forced to jump across there. Fortunately, he's not going to be able to be seen because of the smoke, and Moe sets up nice and close. He's thinking about this same one again. He's got the info A1S here, so a little bit of a different approach to that kind of sprayed out scenario. Who may try it. He'd rather they pushed into him, though. He doesn't really have the bullets to spare on that box. And Avant-Garde definitely want to go for this one. I mean, bit of a short angle there, B. Like, the Deagle is not the super accurate weapon unless you're sort of going for the one shot. If they're pushing out onto a site like this, is it really the best loadout they could be having, especially the Scout?
I don't recommend the Deagle. I think economically it's not worth it. $700 for a gun that you can't really control. Destiny getting great damage.
Yeah. Really good amount of damage. But look at Avant-Garde walking in. The Deagle's doing work. We try to doubt them. We try to tell ourselves that they won't work out. And every time we get proven wrong. Ferg through the wall, though. Sheep should not be standing there at all. Has now. Going to try and jump up with a Scout. He gets the kill. And now Tedwick, he's got some low health targets to deal with. He has got to be careful if he pokes out the 1v1. PDG was low. And Tedwick says, you guys are not getting back in this game. Keeping Avant-Garde under the heel of Streamline.
Yep, 2 great rounds by Teddy, actually.
He's been a big player. Absolutely. Estilo as well, still sitting up at the top of the scoreboard. Although, last few rounds have been a bit more quiet for him. He accrued most of his frags in the first 3 or 4 rounds. Now, Chriso wants to take the aim battle. Does manage to get the upper hand there, but did go quite low. Smokey's up, flashes all and sundry. Has out a pit as well. Slight flashy, so it's good entries here from AV. Very, very good. They're just... Well, this is a different AV from what we've been seeing. Maybe some impetus here. He's just going to get a shot on the side. He'll be salty about that one, but what can you do? He's going to opt for an AK, is Moe. And he's going to see if he can do some damage here. That's a very, very different push from AV. What happened there? Were they thinking so much about the objective of planting the bomb, or they just try and push onto
I think
as
soon as they got that entry frag, they just kept going. Kept rolling onto long.
Moe, he actually had pretty much a full flash on his opponent there, but he's going to back away. DevK gets a reprieve and a chance to shoot. Play a bit of whack-a-mole with Moe as he backs away into the tunnel. He's going to ensure that no one is able to follow his retreat on foot, at least not from that angle anyway. Going to hold onto his AK.
So it's kind of like when you're playing Inferno, you know, and you get a kill in mid early or in carpets early, or you get a kill in diggity and carpet. You pretty much just want to explode on that site because they're only going to have one more person there.
Sure.
Same kind of thing with Dust 2. You take long, the other guy's going to be caught out either falling back to CT or going to car or in the middle of long, which is what exactly happened. Has got a kill onto Teddy.
All quiet on the stage at the moment. Avant-Garde, not their usual chirpy selves. In fact, Streamline, despite their lead, are also fairly quiet. Serious. Definitely playing this game with serious intent.
That's an important one.
Look at this entry there. Has just like through all the smokes there. And have a look at that. Has gets the double dink on towards Moe. Tedwick will pick up PDG in the process, and the Destiny's just trying to hold from that front door. You can see Avant-Garde come across a lot of nades landing near Destiny, but he's still looking fairly healthy. The spray is actually not going to prove to be helpful at all. Ferg on top of his head. Everyone's just trying to scuttle and get in towards position, but there's Tedwick. He does make a successful flank and gets on towards Sheep now. Avant-Garde with the bomb down, but it's a retake here from advantage for Streamline. They lost a player just then. DevK picked up Ferg. Tedwick has managed to keep his head down for a while, but he does finally pop out and get it to taking off, but the nade from the grave will claim the frag of DevK, should I say. Still
Going to save that gun.
That's not bad at all from Avant-Garde. They've found something anyway. Two successful plants, one on each bomb site.
His after plant spots in B are obviously just a bit too good. I think that's twice when they've gone B now. He's gotten 2 or 3 frags. But has again with a great entry frag.
Yeah, I mean, Streamline with 9 rounds on the CT side, so you've got to be happy with that. Avant-Garde have 3 more chances to start to close this gap. It's honestly... not ideal. If they lose the pistol, obviously they're in trouble. But it's not, besides the fact,
Avant won, I think, at least 5. with 5, they can be like, okay, maybe we can do this.
Okay. Splitting 1 to long, sending 4 on towards that big bomb site. Streamline now. Pistols is the order of the day. Silo obviously managed to save from that last round, so he has armor and an AK. Avant Garde going to smoke out that CT, maybe simulate the mid to B, so it might make those Streamline players feel justified in their position. They're actually going to push through tunnels here. Sheep does see it, but he gets nicked almost immediately. Can he hold this one? He needs to keep his nerve for the moment. He's going to get there though. He's going to find Ferg. Sheep will drop, but he did hold on for a good while. But Destiny and Teddy combining, and now only 2 Avant Garde players left. You can see Destiny's going to go pick himself up an AK, and you can pretty much arm the rest of Streamline after that one fell apart. Chriso now with the orb in his hands. He's going to nade on towards the bomb site. Still chooses a great time to poke there. The Molly's going to force him away from the bomb site. Nice deagle shot from Chris. So you can always rely on that from Avant Garde, pretty much no matter who it is. They'll get a plant. There's going to be 3. They're going to try and get to long with this plant, or will they hold it as standard? Chriso actually, yes, has the opportunity to do that. Not now that Destiny's picked him up. Destiny's got to hold it on his own. The 1v2 on the site. Destiny will shut him down. Savage roar coming out from the man.
Yeah, that was just so... I don't know, not well done, I suppose, by Sheep. You know, he whipped a whole clip. He just really got, you know, obviously nerves got to him a little there.
Yeah, his nerve broke there a little bit. I mean, he just tried to hold on, but it's tough. Like, Streamline, a lot of these big rounds that Streamline are winning, or a lot of the big plays that they're making towards Avant Garde are actually off the back of less conventional maneuvers. All right, like so the stack on the bomb side. Quite often you will see that push into the B tunnels, if it's
especially on an eco. You know, you kind of take a gamble as to where they're going to go.
But it's almost as if that, you know, they were smoking CT, so, you know, maybe Avant Garde were trying to fake some sort of mid to B, but they didn't stay at B at all. Maybe the information wasn't conveyed, or maybe it just wasn't the right timing, but regardless, Streamline pushed through, and it was really ugly, actually. Like, those pistols in those close angles worked out really nicely for Streamline, and Avant Garde left sort of wondering what happened to them. But they do have guns here. DevK has got the AWP here, so it looks like Sheep's actually dropped that one. PDG didn't pick it up, thought he might. Let's see, Stillo, always the man for short. He likes to aggressively poke that one actually fairly early onto the round sometimes. And Teddy is there as well. So he knows that Avant Garde are kind of setting up shop. Another Tedwick nade onto Avant Garde right now would be devastating. Would be really, really messy, but I don't really know if we'll see that one. Actually, doesn't have one anyway. Flash though will do. Another flash, in fact. Does Stillo want to get aggressive from there? Teddy, there we go.
Huge shot. He's playing really well this guy.
Look how conservative he is being as well. Keeping crouched, keeping back in the corner. PDG will find his head, but the damage has already been done. Avant Garde have been slowed up so much that the wind taken out of their sails.
That was a little risky by Teddy, you know, overcommitting into that short push.
Just the spot on short? Yeah.
I mean, he got the 2 frags, you know, early in the round. That's a 3-on-5. He didn't need to do any more. He'd done his job.
PD gets the execute on Destiny, and then the spray down on Moe. 2 quick kills that are going to guarantee that Avant Garde to get this plant down. PDG pushing through the door here. Maybe less characteristic behavior for someone who has just captured a side, but Avant Garde have their numbers. They can maybe expend these a little bit. Ustillo is still on the A side, and I think he's probably going to stay there. Ferg for the same.
Yeah, PDG just bringing him right back into the game after those 2 frags by Ted. You know, it's great work by him.
Looking for those last few kills. You know, I wouldn't put it past a member of Avant Garde to get a little bit too cavalier. DevK might be that individual to go start going hunting for those kills and put himself out in a bad position. PDG with 3 frags around. You can't afford to do that. Oh no. My lord.
At least Sheep got the kill.
So he did pick up a Silo, so there is that. And,
still really costly for Avant.
Yeah. I mean, they preserved that AWP as well, so it's not all bad for Avant Garde, but definitely could be better. Stillo has actually brought up that AWP himself. I don't know if he'll pass that away or perhaps use that himself. Generally, we expect to see the man go fighting up close or with a rifle, or quite often he was quite happy to use SMGs at the...
Sheep got a good tag onto Destiny then, crossing mid.
That's got to hurt. That has also gets the entry on towards Tedwick along, and Stillo's going to back right up there. Like the Roadrunner straight towards that side. PDG trying to mix things up there from short, and now it's going to be the chance for Has to come on. The Molly was pretty good, but Sheep will actually clean up Ustillo anyway. That all from Ustillo doing absolutely nothing in this round. Moe has got to respond, and he does. Yeah, he's only got 1 more teammate left, and Ferg's got nothing but a 5-7 here. Ferg looking for a gun. Maybe he'll back away yet again. Great nade from Sheep.
Yeah, good round by him so far.
He's woken up. 2 kills for him. Ferg going to try and get the flank. All right, clean round from Avant Garde with, you know, 4 rounds of the last 5. Something they definitely needed.
Definitely. I mean, with 5 rounds, they've still got their foot in the door. You know, you saw Immunity come back, but they were obviously on the opposite side.
Even still.
Still doable.
Yeah, I think so the psychology of it is the same, you know, for whatever that's worth. And for these teams, I think it is worth more. Just because of how, not volatile, but how subject to their own emotions they are.
Definitely.
Okay. No, that's not. There's going to be a little bit of crouching. Going to be a slow movement towards short here. It's not really going to matter. So fairly standard, I guess, the boost on the pistol. You do see a lot of fairly well-defined and straighted-out pistol rounds from some teams. For you guys, do you sort of talk about the pistol round, like exactly what you're going to do before the game? Is it something you plan extensively, or?
It depends on the team. You know, most teams, like Avant and Streamline, they're more cracked up. They're going to have a set pistol. Yep. They're going to know what to do. They might have done research on the other team and thought of a way to counter them, something like that. Okay. But teams such as Noxious that I played in this game, they just kind of wing it.
All right. Well, I did hear I am discussing it. That's the only reason why I wasn't sure. Now, Ferg has actually got himself out onto long. He is quite low, and DevK on that corner. Look at him hugging that one. He has no armor, crucially enough there, and yet double flash for him. So, a bit of stall potential here. And then he goes out and gets his guts beaten in there by Moe. He's going to push up towards the side there. The head of Has poking up. Going to provide a very juicy target for Tedwick to gladly take away. Pistol round is just lackluster from Avant Garde. They're not really making any of the right moves, and every single one of them just gets crunched. Almost a team ace there for Streamline, so they're all about that. Definitely looking like the team out in front at this time.
Yeah, by far. I mean, it looked like Avant basically were in one-on-one duels then against, well, one-on-X rather.
Yep.
You know, DevK peaked like 3 people, and then guy in sight just got overrun.
I mean, it's a tough one when you're sitting on that corner with the USP. Would he be better off at pulling back into that cutout, the boost, or like pushing him seem quite risky, especially with the USP when you don't really know what you're going to have to be shooting
He went for a pop flash push. So he did a pop flash. Maybe if Has stepped with him, you know, he could have got a revenge or something like that. But it's hard to say. An
overshot studs into Destiny's chest, and he's just going to back right away, actually, not even going to bother with that one. So, you know, I mean, Streamline now aware that, although it is one of the cheaper guns in the game, that has been an investment that Sheep has made, and he is holding nicely on that B. So, you can see Destiny's blood over on the floor. Quite upset about that one, but there we go. The MAC-10 was pretty sharp. Wasn't much bullet spread there onto Sheep, and now he's going to try and spray continually over onto that B side as well. Estilo picks up one over, I think, on the other side of the map here. And the bomb actually still not heading to a particular bomb site there. Still, the bullet spread a little bit too much from there. And Christo will be able to get the better of him with the 5-7, but he is super low. If he can get the better of Moe, I'd be very impressed. I think he's going to have to back way in towards CT. Ferg did find him with the Galil. Now Moe is on site. Ferg doubles up. And PD, well, he's got a Nova. It's not quite a MAC-10. It's not quite the Bank of Atletico. He does have a Deagle, though, so there's potential here for them. But now, Avant Garde have got to be starting to think about damage control.
Yeah, pretty much. I think he'll be setting up to try and get some sneaky exit frags.
PDG, resourceful, and wily as a fox in his comparatively old age. He's got flecks of silver in his hair, I noticed, so maybe that's the stress of the game, I'm not sure. But he's definitely one of the older members. Actually, a lot of the Avant Garde guys are, you know, like older blokes, you know, 25-ish, so at least it seems that way.
I think that's about the average age for
CSGO
players. Yeah.
It's funny, actually, that in itself creates such a different dynamic in the community as well, where most of the blokes are a little bit older. I mean, compared to other games especially.
Well, in Div 1 anyway. That's about the average.
All right, nade towards Sheep, going to chunk him down very, very low. Destiny quite happy just to tap away on that MAC-10 and work on this side. The entries are far too easy here for Streamline. They did this exact same thing last round, and Avant Garde still only puts Sheep on the side. It's not enough.
Oh, it's hard on a Nico, you know? Yeah. It looks like they're going to a stack a day long.
Okay, that's true.
Just misread it. 50-50.
That's a fair point. There's only so much you can really cover as well off the map, especially with those guns. And Streamline seem to be extra proficient on these anti-ecos with SMGs.
Especially Estilo. He loves them.
He's a P90 king. he loves a bit of SMG action. He loves the knowledge, I think, that he has that inherited advantage, so he can sort of come forward with.
It gives you just that confidence to just run at them.
Right, PDG sees a bit of action there. Stilo, though, can frag with a pistol as well. And I tell you what, Avant Garde playing this map so well all weekend, now fumbling at the most crucial time.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for them to come back into this. They have to win nearly, God, who knows? Maths is hard.
I'm not about that life, that 11-round comeback. I think my quick calculations, it's just it's just big. Like it's a huge sort of target to try and hit. Massive deficit, and like at any point between round 5 and round 15, if they're going to bring that back, Avant Garde could drop one. You know, statistically speaking, the odds are very low.
Almost impossible.
No, we're not playing with the best of 2 format anymore, so it's it's not a matter of counting back rounds or anything like that. So all that matters is that you win the map. Slow around here. See that Streamline actually mixing up. Normally they're quite happy to try and make some sort of entry here. Avant Garde did a similar maneuver here, the way they stacked up a mid. The totem pole not actually working out because short was smoked now. If that was an AV smoke, that's kind of worked against the whole strategy. And well, EMAG did that last game. The flash onto the totem pole, easy as you like. They must have had some information or maybe noticed it there. It was just a little bit too easy there. And he's just completely mowed them down. DevK still up. He's picked up Destiny though, and Sheep as well on the B side. Can only get one of the 2 guys pushing onto it. Still a 2v2 situation. So for all their bravado, Streamline is still down. Oh, the late nades are the deadliest. And Haz has got to be wondering what the hell just happened. It was very well thrown. He was incredibly low on health. Now DevK, unfortunately, has to face this particular challenge on his own. But he's up to it. One of the more senior members of the team. Definitely one of the more confident. Takes one more backup plate. I don't know if he knows he's there. He's going to go for the quick defuse. No, he doesn't have a kit. Only 10 seconds to go. Stilo won't give him much of a target as well. The nade bounced off the hot wall. He hasn't done enough damage to the man.
Great shot by Stilo.
Working well under pressure. Got the scoreboard there, Stilo 26 and 10.
Yeah, Stilo and Teddy just doing great work.
Avant Garde's scorelines are fairly pitiful. You can see that total kills difference is starting to blow out between these guys, and it's not the team we're used to seeing. Something is up with these guys, and I mean it's their fault because they can't bounce back from this stuff. It's happened before.
You got to be able to flip the switch essentially.
Chemistry I think is a big part of this. Like. Avant Garde aren't going to beat Streamline if they don't want it more than them. Quite simple. They're good enough, and when they turn up on the day, they're a great team. But this is far from what we, from this weekend, would have been expecting to see. It's almost like maybe Avant Garde had already played their grand final before this one. I don't know. Don't know. They have a few guns. Deagle, of course, on PDG, and DevK has the Mac 10. There's a bit of focus towards short here as well for Streamline. And A is essentially, well, it's not well defended. I'll give you the big tip. He's actually going to go there with a Deagle. He'd be the only man holding. And they've actually, they've left Haz to try and watch long. So not much information for Avant Garde. They're not really sure to such an extent that they're still going to keep Haz committed to the bedroom. He's going to see the one player there. Now PDD is about to get jumped on here. Avant Garde, they're responding quickly. I'll give them that, but it might not be enough time. Now PD has to be dealing with all of this smoke, and an entire Streamline team going to push across. They might not go straight for him until that smoke clears. PDG cannot see a thing. He's just going to cop a few bullets every now and then. This must be so frustrating for him. It is impossible to see what's going on. Streamline's entries are so good. Those smokes coming down are in the exact right spots. It's almost like they've got a perfect intuition about it. Now he's got a lot of work to do as well with Chriso. He's actually swapped that for an AK now. Haz picks up Moe. Isn't able to make the 2 for 1 though.
He has to go for this.
It's so important. No, it's not going to happen. Streamline are all over this. 15 and 5. And Avant Garde, quiet as the grave out there.
Yep. I mean, it's rough. Especially when, you haven't won a round.
It's funny when Avant Garde aren't firing, everything just seems so much quieter in general. It's almost like they carry the mood of the place a little bit.
I think they tilt themselves in that way a bit.
Yeah. But I know they're hard on themselves as well. And they're all, what I've got to give to them is that they are probably more aware of their limitations than anyone else. There's no confusion for them about what the issues are. They know that that they only have X amount of hours to still commit to the game and all that sort of stuff. And the same thing instead of Streamline. In Div 1, people are sort of all older, and they understand that they, I spoke to them before actually. And they were expecting 3rd place to be honest. So we'll see if they can actually do that here. Haz has picked up his Stilo. So 3 on 3.
Has 2 frags to bring them back into this round, which is good.
The last couple of rounds for Haz have been good. He's definitely been an impact player. It's going to take a lot more than that. It's not enough rounds here for AD right now. Oh, the spray down. Ted, we can't quite complete it. DevK only had a scout though, so a 3v2. Haz going to try to come up in towards mid. He's got to get quick. Moe. Oh, that's so filthy. That is so BM. But, well, let's see what he can do. He's actually got a kill with it already, so you got to hand him that. At least he's actually doing something with the weapon. Now Ted is actually looking on short. She's got to come into him. He's got to place his crosshair correctly, and he does at least. In that case, I was worried he was going to be a little bit too high for that one. But Tedwick goes down. Moe trying to do work. I don't even know what the gun's called. No one ever uses that one, but Ferg has actually picked up Sheep anyway, so has his low and health. The bomb is down. That is it. Streamline completely shut down Avant, Garde, and the applause comes out, but it's everyone bewildered maybe about the result of this one. It's not as if people didn't expect Streamline to be able to get the win here, but to have that result on Dust 2.
Yeah, they've just really shown up on LAN. You know, a lot of people are expecting, you know, the whole Destiny Online factor as well as Ferg. But both of them, you know, as well as, you know, Teddy as well. He played really well on Dust 2. They've done great work. They've shown that, you know, they still got it.
Yeah, and it's probably the first time that we've seen a lot of these guys come together in this particular incarnation. We've seen Team Streamlines, or we've seen Ustillo sort of floating around the place, and some of these guys, but now having come together, they're showing us that they have the potential to be serious contenders. So congratulations to them. They've done very, very well. Basically, what's going to happen now, ladies and gentlemen, is that Streamline have like 9 PM flights, so we need to squeeze their game in first, which means we're going to get to see our grand final first up. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. It's going to be a best of 3 as well, and of course, it's going to be a big one. Immunity.
Oh yeah, it'll be a great game.
And Streamline. Streamline, the dark horses of this event. We always thought they'd be in with a chance, albeit an outside one, but here they are. They made their way to the grand final. They're Land Dragons. They were huge yesterday. People speculated it might just be a flash in the pan, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, were they just working off impetus? But it looks like they got enough sleep, and I'll tell you what.
Yeah, they've really shown up.
Congrats to them, and thank you, of course, Saib, for joining me here on the desk. It's been a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be back shortly. Going to take a break in between these games because obviously we're setting up for a grand final. It can take some time. So we'll be back after the break.